You guys are coming from Hollywood. I'm here with BRET BOGUE. Mr. Bogue, do you have any future strains that you're coming out with anytime soon?
We do, actually. We have two new strains, Snoop after Snoop Dogg, of course, Skywalker crossed with Afghani, and we also have another one called Woody. And Woody is another strain that I've been working on for the past year and a half. I have some trial runs right now with a few people that are doing seeds on the internet. You can go to THC Farmer, I'm sure your listeners are familiar with that, and check it out and actually see the progress from the seed all the way through to flowering. I've given it to two people in particular. I really like their techniques on growing. One guy's in Oregon and another guy's here in Southern California. So we're trying to get people to experiment and show kind of the showcases of the work that we've been doing. So those are the two that people can look forward to probably the next year or so. I'll get them out.
How about for parents out there, or concerned adults about medicinal marijuana? Do you have any, comments or opinions for them that they could, know more information about?
Well, you guys, I noticed they talked about, when we were on the panel tonight, they talked about the minorities and the incarceration rate. And I'm not sure if your listeners know that, but right now, the prisons that are filled with people in prison are mainly Black, Latino, and really a minority group. And the important part about it is to get into the minority group. I grew up with a stepfather from South America. My stepfather, whose name is Eduardo Ayala. I grew up with a different culture than a typical white guy. And the reality of it is when I grew up, I was raised under a Latino family, raised in a different environment, more religious, Christian background. And I can probably assume that you guys are of Latino heritage. And the point that I'm making to you guys and your listeners is that you have to understand that our parents were raised with a different background and a different upbringing, and in our culture, being in a Latino and raised in a Latino culture, that they really have a misnomer of something of being bad. But the reality of it is every human being in the world has a CBD receptor, and it's very important that we understand and teach our elders and teach our community that, in fact, instead of it being this negative thing that hurts and deteriorates us from learning, we actually grow and we learn. So it's about teaching people the benefits of the medical part. So to answer that question, that the medical part will really change probably in the next 2 or 3 years, simply because they're finding out that it helps with Alzheimer's disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers, tumors, rheumatoid arthritis, pretty much almost anything that you can. And if your readers will go out, your listeners will go out and look and pull up, it's in 2003 that the U.S. government patented CBDs. And when you look what they patent, if it says on there, on every 26 pages of patent, it says preventative, meaning that it could prevent those diseases. So really, when you take it from that standpoint, it's huge, you guys. It's super huge.
Mr. Bogue, I thank you so much for doing everything that you do. I know many patients that have been not using only your strains but marijuana and have lived.
And there's a lot of people, you guys, out there. More and more as people start to realize, and again, it's getting out and really talking and teaching people. You have to really go out on a limb and just explain to people that medically it becomes something beyond just I'm going to get high, but it's a quality of life. And when you realize medically what it can do for you, whether it be for your friends or your family member, and you see a family member struggle or have a problem medically, and they're taking these pharmaceuticals, addicted to Percocets, Valiums, basically heroin, you guys. This does not get you addicted, but this gives you a quality of life. And to see your loved one, your grandma, your grandpa, your mom or dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, or friend, be able to do that without having side effects, basically not even be able to function in the world. I've seen a lot of people go through a lot of things medically, and it's time that we're the youth, if you will. We're the new voice of new change, and we live here in America, and it's time that we stand up. We ask our parents, we ask our family to look at us and say, are we bad people? Do we do wrong? Do we have good values? Do we believe in what's right or wrong? Well, if that's true, then what is so wrong with us wanting something that becomes and is part of all of our body? So really for your listeners, do some research, because that's what it's all about, and educate yourself, look at the facts, and dig them out, and dig them up, and show people. Don't argue with them. You don't need to argue with anyone, but you need to really be able to show your point and get it across in a way that they can understand it. And mostly, it's understanding the medical benefits. So with that said, I think, again, your listeners, if you go out and really take the chance to open up your mind a little bit and go out and do some research on the internet with your people on YouTube, is that where you're broadcasting? And really look around, you guys, because there's some, I would say in the next year or two, you're going to see medical cannabis available, and really it will be more than medical, it will be a dietary supplement, because really if you look at it, as I said, when it's in your brain, it's in every organism, it's in our bloodstream, it's in our cells, it's our DNA. I mean, really, if you want to take it on a religious standpoint, weren't we created under His likeness? Isn't it amazing that He gave us a CBD receptor? If it was so bad, do you think God would have done that? Think about that, you guys. And think about that when you talk to your parents, when you talk to your elders in your community. If it's all about God and we're about being religion, then think about the fact that God gave us a CBD receptor. So I just want to leave you guys with that. Study, research, and go out and get involved. Be involved in what's moving, because this is going to change the way medical is, dispensed. It's been given out, and I think we can actually look forward to knowing that we may be able to cure cancers and cure all these diseases. So, all right?
I think it was about